Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dragon Age Rise of the Kunari. After our three companions have returned, Serena goes to her room to contemplate, so to speak.
Yeah, Serena is very, very, very confused, conflicted, and pretty much terrified of the thought of what's happening. Like, most of the garrison is emptied by now because people are going to Kirkwall to war, and she knows that the next morning, uh, Cullen is going as well, and she will be leaving for Redcliffe to deal with some Grey Cloaks. So she has no clue how to deal with her weirdly vulnerable emotional state. So she's in her room, brooding, alone, throwing knives on the wooden beam along the wall, and trying to figure out how to deal with this situation.
Right? So you're throwing knives at the beam on the wall. And you've never felt this way before in your life. Not only have you very rarely in your life had people that you truly trust, but this is one of the first times in your life that you've ever felt an experience more than just a simple liking of someone. And now, for whatever reason, you can't seem to shake this fear that grips you. But after about 15 minutes or so of contemplating, you hear a knock at your door.
Yeah, come in. Still keep throwing the knives because, yeah, doesn't even look who it is.
Serena?
Well, she will, upon hearing his voice, she will immediately like calm and kind of like sigh. She still won't turn around yet because she's feeling weird. And Cullen, hi, hi.
Hi. Hi. I was making my rounds and I heard some some thudding sounds and I was wondering if everything was okay. And he looks over at all
Um,
the knives in the wood.
yeah, everything's fine. She will go towards the beam and start pulling them out, resetting the board.
He looks at you and then looks at the area where you threw the knives. And he says, right, fine. Something you want to tell me?
Um, yeah, actually, I do. I just don't know what and I don't know how. She's going to place the knives on the table that's in her room. Is he still like by the door? Is he inside the room? Is he on the
Yeah,
entry?
he's in the room.
Well, I guess well, I'll have to go to Redcliffe tomorrow. I'm assuming you'll be off to Kirkwall.
Yes, fighting there's gotten pretty intense, and our allies need help. Not to mention, we can't
Yes.
afford to give the Kunari that big of a foothold.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, here's the thing. Like, up until yesterday, it was yesterday that I saw the bounty, didn't I? Yeah, yesterday. I was
Yesterday.
terrified of the weird things I'm feeling. Now I'm terrified that you're leaving and you will not return.
I'll be fine. I've been in war zones before
Oh,
when
you better be. She will kind of push him towards the door, and he'll be, "Don't you dare die, okay? If you do, I'm gonna go into the fane. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna kick your ass."
Roll a d100.
Fuck. I don't like the D100s. Wow.
Hold on, I gotta look at his
Am I
points.
dead?
No, I know. I gotta look at his points.
What exactly am I rolling?
Every time you roll a d100, it adds up cumulatively to emotional points, and I gotta see how far you're along you are. Yeah, okay. Um, he kind of looks at you, and he forcibly pulls you in for a kiss.
Oh yeah, it's not forcibly at all.
Okay, so you do so, and he'll close the door.
Well, I guess after a small make session,
Yeah,
she
so
will try and make a conversation about what is expected.
after
Do
you
you
two are
know?
yeah, after you two have your little jaunt and are dressed again and about ready to leave, you ask him this, and he turns and he says, "Well, the Canary have doubled in force. The entire harbor is all but sealed, and if the Kunari were to make another attack, they have to go all the way around. But so we know that most of the fighting will take place in Kirkwall and in the harbor.
How about the pirates? Porthos said he's gonna send pirates.
They have agreed to aid for a modest fee, but never have your winning hand be pirates.
Yeah, I know, especially if they know what happens if you run into a dreadnought, but besides the point. Um, you You'll see her. She's looking for something in the room, and after rummaging a little after a bit, she finds a small wooden box, which looks to be of elvish design with elvish symbols on them on it. And she will open that, and within it, it's a silk red scarf that she will take out. Very old, seemingly very tattered. And she will give it to him.
He looks and he nods. He approves. He says, thank you. What is this, and what is it for, and what's its meaning?" He raises an eyebrow.
Well, I'm gonna have to want this back, so make sure you return it to me. Okay?
I will return it. That I
As for its
promise.
significance, I will tell you when you return. But just know that it's something very important to me. So coming back is really important to me.
He nods. He says, I will come back, and I'll return this to you. I promise.
I'll hold you to that.
I will hold you. And he just embraces you.
Yeah, Serena will embrace him back, like really tightly, and at this point, pretty much trying to what's the word? Suppress crying because she's not the crying type.
He bends down and he gives you a very long, passionate kiss. And he says, I love you.
Okay, she's freaking out now.
If he sees you start to kind of flip a little bit, he'll give you a kiss on the forehead and
This is
he says,
like
relax. It's
he sees like tears coming down, but she's not able to say anything.
he's yeah, he kind of starts just calming you and being very affectionate, but he's kind of surprised. And he says, I didn't mean to I didn't mean it. Didn't, I didn't mean to make you feel like that by that. Sorry.
It, I'm not feeling bad. I'm I'm scared. Just just get back to me and
I'll be back. They're probably going to put me in a tent as a leader or something anyway. Probably far away from the fighting as possible, much to my everlasting shame.
well, that's a relief to me. So
Of course,
do what you have to do.
I will, and I will be back.
So
And
she
he
kind of tries to calm herself down, like wiping tears and all, trying to, put on a brave face again, because
he goes
you know,
to leave the room and he's holding your hand and he can't quite let go. He doesn't really want to. And after about another 5 minutes of him at arm's length holding your hand, he finally leaves.
and Serena will keep tossing knives on the wall.
You find your grouping is off.
What's off?
Your grouping,
My grouping?
like where the knives are positioned, whether like good grouping would be like right next to each other. Poor grouping is widened out.
Wait, I'm confused.
Okay, you know how when you shoot a target, a bullseye,
Yeah, yeah,
your grouping, if it's good, all of your holes are going to be at the bullseye. If your
yeah.
grouping is off or poor, it will be wider and not as close together.
So you want to know how my grouping is?
Your grouping is off
Why?
because you're distracted.
Of course it's off. But let's see. We'll try to focus.
So focus and roll me two attack rolls. Ranged. So
Ranged.
1d20 plus 13. Oh, very nice. Yeah, now you're a badass with them. Your knives are so close together, you almost can't even tell that you've hit a different spot.
So she will take a deep breath, try to concentrate and clear her mind because tomorrow she has to be off and face a pretty formidable enemy up ahead.
Alrighty. That's some nice knife work there.
Ah, son of a bitch! Ah, didn't you have? Were you born on a boat or something?
He kind of thinks for a moment. He's like, I don't think I was.
Anyway, sorry, you startled me. Come, please come in. Uh,
Of course.
want some
Sorry.
mead?
Oh, a little mead before the trip would do.
Yeah. So grab the jug and a couple of glasses.
Apparently, they're keeping a lot of our Kunari allies here because they don't want confusion in Kirkwall, so to speak.
Bull is there, but I don't
Yeah, they're.
think.
Yep, and with us going there, Bull is actually coming back. Interestingly enough, so now
Oh,
we're kind of doing a
well,
little tag, if you will.
well, that's good. That's good. I'll sleep a bit better. Let's say.
Mm. Can we trust you to watch Skyhold while we're gone? He chuckles.
I'm not going to be in Skyhold while you're gone, Dennis.
Oh, that's right. Are, is there? That's right. Is there? Are you going on that expedition to Redcliffe?
Am I going to that expedition in Redcliffe? What the hell do you think?
He
I
kind of
have technically I have most experience than anyone else with those grey cloaks. Of course I'm going.
says, "Good luck."
I have to take them down.
Takes a swig of ale. Well, good luck with that.
Huh. Why? You have any info that I don't?
No, they're just annoying fuckbags.
Oh, they're going down.
Good. Give them hell.
Oh, that's what I'm planning to do. Anyway, since you're here, I'm already regretting this. About the thing you said the other night at the tavern. Well, night, technically it was morning, but anyway.
Yeah, I should have introduced myself when I saw you the first time, but I wasn't actually entirely sure it was you. You look a bit different, let's say.
I mean, yeah, if we're talking about 30 years ago almost, yeah, I assume things have changed quite a bit.
I mean, like I said, I used to have two eyes back then.
Yeah. Did you use the same name?
No, I did not. I was one of the street rats, remember? I didn't really have a name of my own.
So,
I think
which one of the street rats were you?
I was Dirt.
Oh, okay.
That's what they called me.
Yeah, you changed.
Well,
You grown.
that's what 25 years of extreme combat training and mental
What
training will do to you.
what happened to your eye?
Well, it's a bit embarrassing.
Did a cat scratch you?
No, Mabari actually.
Close enough. Still has it.
They were able to heal the scars, but couldn't save the eye. I was
Hmm.
I was well, I told the it's a bit of a personal story, but for you I would tell it. After you left, um I was sold into slavery. I worked for a merchant who
I need to know something. You were sold by whom? Not by our beloved boss, were you?
no, I went out and I was doing some I needed some money.
Okay.
I needed some money. It was bad times, okay? And they told me that they were going to burn the orphanage down if I didn't do what they told me to do. At being a child, I was weak at the time. So I went to go get some money and I had to do a little pickpocketing. When I did, I got careless.
Hardly something you've never done before.
Yeah, but I got careless. I got taken away, thrown into a cell, and then I got sold. Because unlike you, I show the ears, and he points at his ears.
Wait, uh, is that why the orphanage was burned?
I don't know. I know that I killed those men eventually in the future, a lot longer than was past their due,
Oh,
but
good.
I do not know why precisely the orphanage was burned down. It could have been. They were associated with nasty people, from what I hear.
So, how did you escape?
Well, that goes back to the story.
Mm.
This man requested things of me, and unfortunately, as a slave, I was forced to oblige. If I didn't, then I was beaten. I
Yeah, that seems to be a very, very common thing among slavers, street bosses, everyone. If you don't do as well, you get the stick.
Mhm.
Like, that makes sense.
After about 5 or 6 years, he got careless, and I was able to kill him. But once again, I got a bit careless, and he sicked his Mabari hound on me. Killed the
Hmm.
thing, but lost my eye. I ran.
Well, he
I
lost his
ran.
life.
I ran until I couldn't run anymore, and I fell. And then, lo and behold, some Dalish found me, Lyria being one of them, nursed me back to health, and saved my life. So I trained with the Dalish for a long time, making sure that I would never be used once again.
Hmm.
And when I heard about what happened after the Inquisition with Corypheus and a few of the others, I decided that that was an organization that I would be a part of. And for the
So
last
you've
month or
pretty
so,
much known
yep,
Lyria since he was a child.
pretty close. We were never really close or really extreme friends, but we were allies. We saw each other here and there.
So,
My my
how
duties.
was she as a kid?
What was the difference? Is what I
I
ask.
don't know. I don't know. She's still a child to me. A
She
child with a very big burden on her shoulders.
indeed. I would have to say that if I had a brother and they gave me a position like that, I'd be nervous as heck.
Oh, yeah. They
Hey,
put a lot on her plate.
mhm, it is good to see you again, Serena. Really, it is.
It's good to see that you're alive.
Oh yeah.
And, well, it might not have been the boss's fault that you ended up where you ended up, but if at any point you want to go back in Denerim and kill the bastard, I won't say no to that.
Didn't you hear?
No.
He was found a few weeks ago, floating in the river with a knife in his back.
Ah, and it wasn't mine. Well, I guess some other little tyke that he abused got the best of him.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing. Rumors say that he went to go visit a noblewoman, but who or what family or when, where, how, why, all that is kind of fady. All that we know is that there was a knife in his back, and the knife belonged to an Orlesian. But in all honesty, there were none nearby, so this was clearly planted. But
Well,
we, but it was so well executed that no one knows what the heck happened. So good riddance to him.
part of me wants to go and investigate and see who is
Well,
our savior.
well,
Ah, that bastard gave me so many beatings as a child. Ugh, I've grown pretty much. Well, let's just say, that uh, after that encounter with that gray cloak, I had a fucking bolt sticking out of my back for hours. Didn't even budge. Well,
you really
that's
should
what you
pull those.
get.
You really should pull those things out when you get shot with them.
Yeah. Well, I had different priorities, okay? And I couldn't reach it. Okay? I tried. Never mind. I mean, I'm used to the pain. To this kind of pain at least. Like physical pain I can withstand.
But emotional pain.
I wouldn't know
He
anything about it.
he looks at you with his one eye, and then he
I,
smiles.
I'm gonna roll a bluff.
and he is going to cast Discern Lies.
Oh fuck.
So, what are you bluffing?
About not knowing anything about emotional pain.
His eye glows for a brief moment and then doesn't. And he raises an eyebrow. He just sits there and folds his arms. My buddy here, and he points to the sword, and he's like, my buddy here says you're lying.
Your buddy here better mind his own business. I have a reputation to withhold.
He just stands there with his arms crossed and looking at you.
What? What do you expect me to say?
He just stands there with his arms crossed looking at you.
When I toss a few knives on the wall?
Sure. He takes his sword and he throws it at the wall and it sticks. And then he snaps his fingers and his sword flies back into his hand and he sheathes it.
Show off.
Like, what?
Well,
I'm no good with these little ones. He starts throwing them and his grouping is decent, but it's nowhere near as good as yours.
oh well. Different people, different skills, I suppose. So, what are you good at?
Swordplay, discerning lies, and I've got magical tattoos. I'm also pretty decent at stealth.
Hmm.
Plus, when you've got a magic sword, you know magic, which I do. Thank God I didn't get sent to the circle though. Either way,
Well, would it have been worse?
well, after the incident that happened in the circle that one day, I would have been there when that happened. So, yeah,
Ah, that's true. But you were not in Ferelden, though, as a slave, were you?
no,
I won't pry, but where? The winter?
he nods.
Hmm.
The Inquisition changed a lot, with the exception of the war and everyone being angry at Kunari now. People are a little bit less hateful toward the Dalish and our kind. Little bit, not a whole lot.
Well, our kind is weird. Mm, I don't know. I still remember how life was at the alienage. Not able to get into the orphanage because there I was the sham kid, and to the others I was the elf's bastard. So, to be fair, all people are shitty. Doesn't matter if they have pointy ears or not. People are shit.
The world is shit, and we all must take a bite.
Well, I think you've taken quite a share of the
Yeah, but life
shit
is
that's
good,
in the
man.
world. Hmm.
Anyway,
Well,
Serena, I better get going.
yeah, get
They're go-
ready.
yep, they're
Get
gonna need us in
dressed.
Kirkwall. And he says, I always go shirtless. I always used to go shirtless too.
You might wanna try some armor.
He does. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll put something on.
We
Kind of,
don't need to take any further losses for the Inquisition. Something tells me we may need them.
please. They won't
Okay?
even be able to touch me. He holds out his hand to shake.
Serena will shake his hand.
Good luck, Serena. I'll see you again. Don't worry. We'll be back. And
Take
as he
care of
walks,
those horny bastards, okay?
I will. And he looks back through the door and he's like, I'll make sure to bring home Cullen safe and sound. And he winks at you with his one eye and then leaves.
Well, that went well.
And then the camera will fade out to the pouring rain and Serena. You see images of enemies as you throw the knives at the wooden. You see the gray cloaks, see people that you don't like. You see Solus's face as you practice, how you're going to gouge it out.
And on that
And
note,
you also
Serena will go back. Wait,
you
because
also
there's
see,
something
well,
else in the box.
I know
But
you also see Jacqueline appear occasionally, but
funny thing, Jacqueline, Serena doesn't consider Jacqueline an enemy per se.
indeed.
On the contrary, she wants to have a normal relationship with her, but yeah.
So you go back to the box.
And inside the box is actually a small wooden carving of what appears to be the Dread Wolf, which was her mother's that she used to put it next to her bed to keep so that the Dread Wolf would keep the evil spirits away. But now she
Well,
looks at it, and part of it reminds her of her mother. The other part of her reminds her of Fenharel and how the situation is now.
for a
So she
split
will
second,
take it and toss it in the fire.
when you toss it in the fire, for a split second, for only a second, you think you see a face looking back at you, but you can't catch it. It's too quick. It was probably just the flames.
She will then close the box and whatever else is in there. We won't go through that now.
Mhm. And then,
And we'll go to sleep.
and very faintly in the distance, as you're taking a little nap, very, very faintly off in the distance, barely audible, you hear a wolf howl. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.